I didn't grow up, really, in the film business. Even though my parents are both artists, I grew up in New York City. They would never put me into acting, I just kind of wanted it, and I told them that. I remember the first time being so lost in the moment that when they said, "Okay, cut," I didn't remember what I'd done. I like that weird out-of-body experience. I hate rodents. I cannot stand rodents. I couldn't even watch Ratatouille, which is an animated film. I remember my mom being very scared during the first few auditions. My parents are very supportive but also very realistic, which is great. I'm the worst liar. I can't lie for my life. And I don't lie at all, because I'm the worst liar. But as a kid, I thought he was a great liar. So I would lie all the time, but everybody knew I was lying. I'm not like my characters at all, but everything that I'm feeling on screen, all of my emotions that the character is going through, those are all my feelings, those are all my emotions. I just am kind of blending it in with character, but the feelings are mine. Netflix started with the DVDs that they would send to you. And you remember watching Taxi Driver for the first time on my laptop in bed. I wanted the job so bad that I prepared with a Missouri accent. And when I get to the audition, I could hear the other actors reading their lines and was like, none of them have the accent, I'm screwed. But I couldn't remember my lines when I wasn't doing the accent. So, I just had to do the accent and it worked. For my senior year, I'm homeschooled. It's working well with the acting, juggling school with the acting issued, but you know. What can you do? I'm from Manhattan. I'm some Jewish girl from the Upper West Side. You have to come home knowing that you tried everything you could. I do weird parts. There's always something wrong with my character, or they are in a really weird situation. I think the hardest thing about doing an accent, especially with a Missouri accent, is making sure that you're not mumbling with the words so your diction is clear. I think Matthew Rhys is great. I think he's a phenomenal actor. There was one point where they thought he was legally letterblind. Sometimes, when I am being extremely hard on myself, I have to step back and remember the place that I was in, thought he couldn't read. I go wherever the good story is. If you love something, just continue doing it. I started acting because I had some confidence issues. Because I wasn't literate and couldn't articulate myself in the way I wanted to. The thing I liked most about acting was that I was saying someone else's words, but it was my emotions. I could just say it through someone else. The best way to put it is, it's very surprising that I'm doing this profession because so much of it is language. I think that the most important thing for me is, how is the character that I would be reading for? Is it interesting? Is there stuff to do? Are there things that you can do with the character? How can you play it out? Just those kinds of things that are very important for an actor. Also, a good director and good dialogue. You have to add some sort of dimension to each of your characters. Because everyone has their layers. I'm very good at letting things go. There's always new things. And I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason kind of thing. There were no secrets in my house. I always knew what was going on. People are intrigued but also scared about things that are uneasy. I love romantic comedies so much. Everybody's so kind that when you do heavy scenes like that and, you know, you're gonna set up for the next shot. Even though the story and whatever's happening in the situation with the characters, the energy of the people is not heavy amongst one another. The thing that I look for in a script, I'm not looking for anything next, because you never know where life's going to take you. So, you can't just expect, I want to do this next. So, I'm not expecting anything, I'm hoping. I love to cook and have been cooking a lot. I've found something I love other than acting. My husband is a musician. So yes, there is a lot of music in our house. He has an amazing studio, and it's been really interesting to hear him start with one instrument and then a few hours later. It's pretty much a full song. I think also a big part in what makes it easier doing these hard scenes is we have such an amazing cast and crew. Yeah, I guess it's like almost, in a way, wearing a wig. If you do something different, you can just go home and be you. You don't have to take the character with you. If a person feels like they're not acknowledging me, that's a very important feeling in life, even if it's not romantic. Every part that I do has to be different. From the last part that I did so I don't become a stereotype. If you feel like you're doing terrible in a scene, that usually means that you're not listening because you're too preoccupied with yourself. You're not listening to your scene partner. If you listen, you're naturally going to get that response that the camera's going to pick up because you just react. You have to show up, be prepared, and do the best job you can do. I just want to continue learning as an actor and person. I write in a journal almost the same way that anybody would write in a journal, except I write as the character. When a child knows there's a so they don't know what it is, but they know it's there, and they know they're being lied to. In the end, the most important thing is the story. Because if you have a good story, that means that good people want to be attached. I don't want anyone to expect anything from any of my films. I just want them to see it and then tell me what they think. I started taking acting classes when I was 14. That's when I knew I wanted to try it professionally. Before that, I watched movies, always. But I didn't think it was a real job. I watched Turner Classic Movies with my parents. I've always loved the old classics. My first film festival and the first film they'd have ever been in. Martha Marcy May Marlene, that was at Sundance. You know, at the end of the day, everyone just wants to do a good job. I loved old movies, and I like imitating people. It's been nice working on home projects with my husband that we hadn't that time to finish because of our work schedules. I've also been catching up with friends and family on the phone and FaceTime. It was a challenge for me. I would never get in trouble or anything. Teachers liked me, but it was very hard. When Harry Met Sally is probably my favorite movie. I have a journal, and every character that I play, I write as the character, how I feel about things and how I'm going to play it.